Turning points in your career, Cliff, can you take us back to some of your earliest, fondest memories?
Well, turning points, I mean, funny enough, I guess my career has been an unusual one. First of all, I guess because it's lasted as long as it had. None of us expected, at least of all me, that I would still be talking about a career after 32 years. But I think one of the reasons why I've stayed, certainly in Britain, is because there haven't been any real turning points. What I did was, and again, with hindsight, it's easier to look back and see what I did. From the moment I recorded Move It, when you look back, it becomes inevitable that I would have done what I did. But what I did was I kept following my nose in one direction. I kept within the confines of pop rock music. I kept within the confines of the things that I found easy to sing. I found it not too difficult to sing ballads like Miss Unites and couple them with songs like Devil Woman, which demanded a different technique of singing and presented a different image. But it was still within the confines of what I would call the rock and roll musical culture that there is. And so I didn't make any great massive turns. In other words, sometimes when you do a massive turn, people still get, people that follow you want you to keep this line and you've gone this way, and that's where a lot of people lose out. So I just tried to make a progression happen that was much more natural. You know, it's like when you know, my family still look the same to me. My sisters look exactly as I've always remembered them. And yet when we dig out old photographs, you realize there were some fantastic physical changes that took place in all our lives. But if you change gradually, which is what aging is, then people don't notice it. And so in the same way in Britain, for instance, my career seems to have gone on forever because I've chased that same line and haven't made any major great turns.
That and the fact that you haven't aged one bloody year, Cliff, for crying out loud.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. No, I mean, I know that's not true entirely. Actually, funny enough, in Florida, when I was in Florida, this made my decade. We went to Universal Studios. I took a day off from Walt Disney. I was staying in the Walt Disney World area, which was a fantastic holiday, by the way. I recommend it to anybody. But we took a day off and went to spend some time in Universal. And there was a guy there that says, I can guess your weight within 3 or 4 pounds. I can guess your age within 3 years, either way. And so my friend said, come on, deal with this guy. So I stood in front of him. He said, could you take your glasses off? I took my glasses off. And he asked me a few questions. And he said, okay, he said, I guess 38. Hey! So he nearly died when I told him I'd be 51 this year, but that made my decade, I tell you. But the main thing is, I don't look 25 and I don't look 18. I don't particularly want to look like that. You know, I guess if I can stick around looking about 38, 40, I'll be very, very happy.